Well, this is new. As WE's most popular local TV personality, now you get medals for this, which is quite nice.
You know what's weird is you get an Olympic gold medal. No, this belongs to Ashleigh McIvor, of course, just about a year ago. She won this. Actually, exactly that.
To the day.
Because today is Ashleigh McIvor Day. So happy Ashleigh McIvor Day, Ashleigh.
Thank you.
Did you ever think that would happen in your lifetime?
No, I certainly didn't. It seems kind of funny to me, and I just I keep forgetting that I actually contributed to this Olympic legacy that has left such an impact on the nation.
So how did it work with these days for the athletes? You have your own day.
Yes, I have my own day, as does Maëlle Ricker.
Yeah.
And then the other gold medalists from BC. Each have, their days, but some of them share with one another. Yeah, because there are a couple of medals on the same day.
So you just get it all today. It's kind of nice. Do you get any special powers? Can you do anything? Can you go places normal people can't?
No, I was saying earlier, though, I think that everybody in Whistler should really take the day off and go skiing in honor
that's a marvelous
of
idea.
Day.
I think so.
And this is one of my favorite things I was reading is part of the fun of you winning this Olympic gold medal. You got a lifetime ski pass. It was, and look how happy! I love that. That makes you so happy.
So a lifetime pass to Whistler.
That's what I live for, is skiing and mountain biking on Whistler Mountain. So
and
I'm
we
never
all know it's pretty expensive to ski and snowboard up in Whistler, so that's pretty awesome.
Yes, I'm very excited
nice
about
to think about, isn't it? I mean, you wrote this beautiful letter that's on their website where you say, if it all falls apart, I've always got this.
Yeah, even if I can't afford to feed myself, at least I'll still be able to ski. That's really the important part.
Now, we wanted to look at some pictures because, of course, we're right in the thick of when the Olympics were. We're on the day that you won your medal. So what is it like for you to look back at these photos a year later?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I guess it sort of brings it all back for me. That one, I felt like I was flying there, floating. My arms were wings. I was it totally felt like a dream. It was all so surreal.
And of course, the big moment when you got the medal, I bet that's something you really can never forget. That must just be amazing.
It is, but I mean, standing there at the time, it's I don't know, it's just sort of hard to even comprehend what it actually means and what it's all about. And it's when I watch the footage of it where I'm like, oh, wow, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I think it is
big.
One of those moments that kind of takes a lifetime to appreciate, because you're always going to appreciate it in a different way, right? I mean, obviously now you're still in competition, so it's a great race that you won.
Well.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about that, because I can't even tell which knee it is. What did you do?
Yeah, I tore my ACL.
Oh, that little stabilizer in there.
Yeah, minor detail. I kind of need those though. Some people do end up just running it without, but taking the beatings that I do.
So what happened? What were you doing? Where were you?
I was at the X Games in Aspen, and I was following the boys on one of the training runs, and I overshot one of the triples up at the top of the course. X Games is always one of the biggest tracks on the circuit, and this was, believe it or not, one of the little jumps that I hadn't even thought to be scared of. I didn't think it would be an issue.
Of course, yeah.
And those are the ones that usually sneak up on you. But I guess I don't know, maybe caught one of my teammates' drafts going into the takeoff, and I didn't really make enough of a move, and I just launched. I went, if there were 4 rollers,
flat, or did you land on,
I could have quadrupled. So I landed and I used to have this reoccurring nightmare about overshooting transitions and being way up in the air, and I can see the downhill landing that I'm supposed to be landing on,
and
I'm
going over it.
Yeah, just looking at the flats.
Did you know right away you'd blown the knee?
Yeah. I landed perfectly balanced, and it's funny because some people have seen the footage and they're like, it didn't really look like a very bad crash, but basically I landed and my knee fell apart, and then I fell over. I just buckled.
Well, and there is, I mean, it's never a good time to get injured, but because the X Games happen every year in January, just before when the Olympics would be.
Glad it wasn't last year.
Exactly.
There really is that moment where you must be like, well, if it's gonna happen.
Totally. Well, in a perfect world, it would have been 1 week later after the World Championships.
Yeah.
I was the non-defending world champ at Deer Valley. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, injuries are just kind of inevitable doing what we do. And
And it was about a month ago. You have to get surgery. When are you getting it? Is everything all good?
Tuesday. Dr. McCormick's going to fix me up.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that'll be good. Back on the road to recovery.
What's the impact been? I mean, because people, I think, knew a little bit about ski cross maybe before the Olympics, but nowhere near the appreciation, I think, of the sport and what you guys do as post-Olympics. How much fun has that been for you to see people's awareness of what the sport is, what it entails, how good you guys have to be to compete in this since you won the gold?
Yeah, no, it's amazing to see how much it's blown up, you know, particularly in Canada.
Yeah. It's so Canadian, though. You know what I mean?
Like. Now, what are we looking at here?
What is this footage from the X Games last year, and I'm out in front in the white jersey, and right there, that feature was so intimidating because it's a step up onto that sort of box, and it's really hard to force yourself to make a move to absorb it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it looks like you're going to catch your tips on that wall.
Yeah. How many times do you get to try out the run before you go?
Well, that's one of my favorite things about X Games. The most fun I have racing ski cross is on the training days because I'm like, you know, following the guys down, and us girls are all sort of like giggling and talking back and forth.
Fun.
Yeah, in X Games, we actually get quite a bit of time on the track before race day.
Well, you have to, because these guys build. I was in Aspen just...
Look at that.
So that big jump there is what our finish jump looked like this year.
Are you kidding me? The other one that you didn't go over in the background.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
The one they had this
huge.
year. I mean, they keep... And yet you say it with a smile. You're like, it was huge.
It was so much fun. It was like, yeah, it was by far the biggest jump I've ever hit in my entire life.
Wow.
And it took, yeah, I mean, I was one of 2 girls who actually hit it.
It takes my breath away looking at this.
Yeah, this is it. Right? This is it. This is some of the guys, actually.
That's this year's X Games finish jump for ski cross.
How much vertical are they getting on that air?
Vertical, I don't know, but they figured they were flying about 150 feet from takeoff to landing.
And just to give perspective, that's the big air jump just to the left-hand side.
Yeah, yeah, and that's supposed to be way bigger than our jumps usually. So imagine hitting a big air jump, or maybe even bigger than a big air jump, with 5 people on either side of you.
Wow.
Yeah.
At the end of what, a 2-minute run? How long did you take you guys?
Yeah, that was probably a minute 20. It's
yeah, so your legs are just on fire by the time you get to the bottom.
Yeah. So what else are you doing on Ashleigh McIvor Day?
I'm doing a whole bunch of media for one of my sponsors, Stonyfield Yogurt. So I'm like, you know, I'll plug it right now.
yeah, for sure.
But maybe you can tell us as an athlete, how important is that for you to continue your career and do what you want to do, to have sponsors behind you?
Oh, it's completely crucial. Like that's, I mean, I was racing ski cross in the years before it was an Olympic sport on my own dime, and it was just not feasible to be flying over to Europe and maybe winning some, you know, a little bit of prize money at these events.
And that was before you got the free pass to Whistler.
That was before. Yeah, and so, you know, I'm one of these ski cross athletes who has a real appreciation for what you know, On the Podium has done for us as competitors, and and you know, it's the sponsors that really drive that, and so we're always hungry for support on that front.
Well, I know I told you this last year when we met you, and once again, but boy, is it ever fun watching you guys have that moment. And, and just being able to see someone at the pinnacle of sort of what they do is a really cool moment, I think, for everyone that shares in it. So congratulations.
And where do you keep this? Where does this live?
Well, it actually usually lives in my purse, but I think that I should stop telling people that. Please don't mug me.
As commodity prices continue to rise, Ashleigh McIvor.
Well, Ashleigh, thank you so much. If you want to follow more about Ashleigh's career, of course, you can go to her website to find out everything.
Yeah, we're going to take a break.